campaigner and expert for toxins issues for Greenpeace Germany. Manfred Santen joins us now from Hamburg in that country. Manfred, good to have you on the show. I'm really looking forward to our discussion. All right, so I get the practice that we have to be producing less waste and we have to come up with sort of better practices. I get all that, but here's the fundamental problem, and I think that you would agree. As long as it's cheaper for developed countries to export their waste to poorer countries, the problem is only going to get bigger, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right, for sure. As long as you can make money with shipment of waste that cannot be used or not be recycled, this problem will not get to an end. So we urgently need solutions on this.
All right, so what do we do? The irony is that no matter how far the waste is sort of distanced or sent anywhere, there's still that waste. How do we solve this? How do we tackle it?
Yeah, we see this in Southeast Asia, but also in Turkey. So a big part of this waste cannot be recycled, not in Turkey or in Malaysia or wherever. So it ends up in the nature, in the environment. And as you can imagine, there are chemicals in these plastic products, in this plastic waste that can be mobilized, that can be released to the air, but also to the water, to the groundwater, to the soil. So it's really a hazard. It's damaging the environment. So what can be done? So we really need to stop this export. We have to make sure that there is no plastic waste, no waste at all that cannot be used in the developing countries where we send it to. And the main problem is on our side, for example, and the German side is, to stop this business and to make sure that these exports cannot take place. And the main challenge here in Germany, for example, is to monitor, to control, and to check what is in the containers, what is shipped to other countries.
I shouldn't say revision, but let's talk about this Basel Convention. In terms of making it mandatory for the labeling or the exact labeling of wastes and sort of the disclosing of it. How do you think this will affect how waste moves around our globe?
So the hope is that it will affect it significantly, but we don't know at this stage. So it's too early to judge on this. The Basel Convention Amendment, it gives us a very good tool to address the issue and to address it to our governments here in the exporting countries, make sure that there will not be exports of waste that cannot be treated in the importing country. So, and the importing country has now a tool to refuse and to reject the shipments if they are not of good quality. So, but to have a summary what's going on and how much effective it is, it's too early now.
Manfred, you know what I've always wondered, and now that I have you on the show, I want to ask you. The talk of renewable energies has become more mainstream. It's become more cost-effective, so we're seeing more of it. I'm wondering why plastic has never really entered this discussion in terms of using it as a valuable resource.
Plastic as a resource, yes. It is in the discussion here in our country, for example. But the problem is, as long as we have a very cheap oil, a low price of oil, oil will be used as a raw material for producing plastic. So we need a much better law in the European Union, for example, to make sure that plastics is recycled. And this is a question to the decision makers and to the politicians to really go for it.
Okay, you as Greenpeace, what are your top two demands in terms of how we should be moving forward?
So for our country, for example, for Germany, we demand go for reuse and refill. So stop the production and stop the production of single-use plastic, for example. Especially regarding packaging, for example, in the e-commerce business, we really need reusable packagings, for example. So this is one of the most important things. And the other thing is we need good laws and restriction to stop the exports of the non-recyclable exports of waste, plastic waste.
All right. Greenpeace's Manfred Santen, thank you very much for joining us here on the NewsHour. I do appreciate your analysis.
Thanks for having me.